Heidi ho, neighbor. It is it a Wednesday?
It is a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. Wow. That means it's a SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk Day, which makes everybody happy and a little
Every
giddy.
day is a fitness day.
That's right. Every day is a great day. Student of the Gun University.
No.
Fight you. I'm going to fight you through
Did
the
you ever
glass.
think about quitting your job and becoming a singer?
A jingle singer?
Yeah.
No, I never did.
I think you should probably think about
But
it.
it occurred to me that was the advent of rap metal.
What was?
The fact that you had quote unquote singers that really can't sing, that they can't carry a tune.
Rap metal?
Yeah, so
That
rather
exists? Rap metal.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Yeah.
Rap metal.
Yeah. It's where basically the singer just yells the lyrics rather than singing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for instance,
I've never heard it referred to as rap metal.
Faith No More.
Is that Linkin Park?
No. There's a band called Faith No More.
I don't know.
Kids, these folks out there in the audience, they're shaking their heads. They're like, these kids today. And then the kids are like, what? I don't know what he's talking about. No, that just.
Well, I bet you don't know who Juicy J is. I don't even know if that's a real rapper,
yeah,
but it probably is.
You pulled that out of your rear end. Oh,
I'm gonna Google
your
it.
Uncle Dave says that he called me yesterday to say that he got his envelope with dick stickers in it.
Oh, yeah, he posted a picture.
The wrong leg dick cancer stickers. How come I haven't seen it yet?
It was on his Facebook, and he had people jumping in. I'm in. I'll buy one.
It's too late. Duh, pay better attention. But anyway, we're having the conversation. I kept referring to the wrong leg dick cancer stickers as dick stickers. And he's like, dude, you gotta quit referring to those as dick stickers. I'm
Holy
like,
crap.
I was like, that's what they are.
There really is a rapper named Juicy J.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
So anyway, he said, he goes, that actually sounds like a punk band, like a punk rock name, the name of a punk rock band.
Dick Sticker?
Johnny and the Dick Stickers. But if you don't have your wrong leg dick cancer, dick sticker, if you don't have your sticker, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's it. Everybody in the grad program's got them. Well, not everybody, but all those who wanted to. Everybody in the grad program that wanted to have them has one. And they're out. That's it. They're all gone. You have to wait for the next one. Why is that? Hey, man, that's not fair. Oh, first of all, if you come into my realm and you say the words, that's not fair, I'm going to show you the door because guess what? Life's not fair. Get over it. Get over it.
Life actually is very fair. Did you know that?
Tell me exactly how that works.
Because what you put in, you get out. So it's actually very fair for everybody.
You mean I have to put in effort?
Yeah, if you put in effort.
And work and dedication. I have to actually invest in my own life.
Yeah, so your life it's merely a reflection of the choices that you've made.
Oh, come on now. So you're telling me that I actually have to invest my time and effort into something?
You don't have to.
Right, yeah, that's right. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
People, everybody wants the magic pill. I was talking to your mom on the phone yesterday.
What, SWAT Fuel?
And, yeah. And she said, I can't remember what she was talking about. But somehow I said, yeah. I said, it's that the whole everybody wants the... Oh, I know what it was. It was about women in the gym. And
they have to get in shape before they go to the gym?
Well, I was telling her how when a woman comes here for the second time, I always congratulate them. I don't congratulate them really for the first time so much, but the second time I do, because women do that all the time. Well, men do too. But women, they come to the gym once, and then they don't come back because apparently you're just supposed to go to the gym one time and lose 20 pounds and then be happy. Yeah, and I said that's what they want. They want a one-time magic fix that makes them. And they're let's face it.
I have a one-time magic fix.
Yeah, one-time magic fix. Do you want to say it, or is that a grad program thing?
That's a grad program thing.
Okay. It's a $1 billion industry. Diet and weight loss is a $1 billion industry because every single person is searching for that perfect. I want to take a pill, sit on my couch, and lose 20 pounds. It doesn't work like that.
It's called heroin. or crack.
Yeah, it's called crack. Yeah, you can take narcotics and then you'll die very soon thereafter, but you'll be skinny. So there's that. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit today. We're going to talk about fueling your body. We're going to talk about the magic pill. It's not really a magic pill, but it's something that we believe in. And yesterday, I hope you enjoyed yesterday's show. We talked about faith and trust, and the people that I allow to get into my inner circle that we support and that support us have a certain level of faith and trust. And we have trust in them. And one of them is SWAT Fuel. And another one is Duracoat. And Duracoat is the featured sponsor of the week. So if you guys would do us a favor, do yourselves a favor, do them a favor. Sometime during this week, pop over to Duracoat's official official firearms page, official Facebook page, and that is the tough thing. Let's go ahead and make sure that everybody has the official Duracoat. And you said, Paul, I went to
There's a link
to Facebook
in the show notes.
Yeah. Okay. You say I went to Facebook and I typed in the word Duracoat, and I got a whole bunch of different answers.
Duracoat Firearms Finishes.
Yeah. The actual name is Duracoat Firearms Finishes, and there's an address, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. That is their official page. There are a lot of guys out there that are Duracoat finishers that went to the Duracoat school, and they may work out of your local gun shop. You know, you're in wherever it is, you're on planet Earth, you're in Starkville, Texas, or whatever, and you say, oh, there's a Duracoat guy where I live, and he works out of, McGillicuddy's gun shop. And a lot of those dudes, what they'll do is they'll create a Facebook page that says, Duracoat Finishing or Duracoat Gun Finish or what have you, and then you get confused, and I understand that that's easy to do. But when you go to Duracoat, it's Duracoat Firearms Finishes of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And that's where you want to go. All right, moving along, I want to thank you guys for helping us out and letting all your friends know about GunDistrict.com. It is the Second Amendment firearms-friendly social media, and we're killing it. We almost have more views than everyone else now. We're that close. Is your microphone on?
It is now.
It is now, yeah. I'm holding my fingers apart an inch. We're actually that close to being the number one in views, likes, members. There's I can't figure out, Jared. There's a follow thing. It says followers. So there's members, there's likes, there's views, and there's followers. Oh, and then there's comments, and there's reviews. So there's only like 6 categories.
Well, I need you guys to do one of each. So
yeah, there you go. Just do one of each. You'll be good to go. All right. I'm going to drink my coffee, and DJ Jazzy Jared's going to bump you in here so you can move
Well,
it.
I know now that I can't call myself Juicy J.
There you go. You can't call yourself Juicy J. It's already been taken.
That's one of my favorite songs ever. SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk. Today is Wednesday, so SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk. And speaking of fueling, SWAT fueling, we're going to talk about fueling your body. And I get a lot of questions about how often should you eat, and the answer is you should eat a meal every couple hours, a small portion, depending on what you're doing. Obviously, if you're trying to power lift and gain weight, you need to up your calorie intake and your protein and stuff like that. But a general rule is you need to eat breakfast. And I set myself on, I try to eat every 3 hours. I'll eat breakfast, and then 3 hours later I'll do like a protein shake or something like that. Or maybe I'll have a protein shake for breakfast. But try to eat something. Give your body something to digest every 3 hours. And then move up from there, depending on if you're a woman, then maybe 3 hours is not a really good time frame for you. Just give your body something. Eat in the morning, eat at lunchtime, and you got to make yourself do it. That's the thing I tell these people. they're like, well, it's so hard to actually get up in the morning and make myself eat. I'm like, yeah, it's if you want to see results, you are going to have to do it.
You're going to have to force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
Discipline your body.
Yeah, you got to give.
I can't discipline my body.
It's funny.
My body disciplines me.
Ooh. Some people like to be disciplined, though, so.
Keep it PG.
There's that. But you got to keep your metabolism. The reason you fuel your body often is because you keep your metabolism going. If your metabolism stops, that's when you start storing stuff in your body. Your metabolism burns it when you eat it. And that's that. Fuel your body. SWAT Fuel.
Fuel your body. SWAT Fuel. Tell them about the promo code, Hippie. They want to get more, so tell them how.
Go to SWATfuelstore.com, or you can go to studentlegunradio.com, click the link, go to the SWAT Fuel store, and you can save 10% on your order, unless your grad program. Remember, you got to save 20. But you can save 10% by going to SWATfuelstore.com and using the promo code SOTG2015.
SOTG2015.
And if you guys want a free bottle of that's a whole month's supply. I think it actually might be more than that.
Yeah, depends on how often
you take it. Yeah, but get a free bottle of 9mm plus P by calling into the Warrior of the Week line. If we pick your question to play on here, then we will send your info over to Dano, and he will get you your bottle of 9mm plus P. So there's that.
So there's that. Hey, how many of you guys out there in the audience are policemen? You put your hand down. I can't see you. Firemen, EMTs, anybody who works odd hours or long hours. You're like, dude, that's everybody. Well, not everybody. Some people like get up, they have a routine, they work 8 hours, they come home, they sit down, they watch TV, eat their dinner, and they're done. But I'm going to assume that the vast majority of our audience either works long hours or odd hours or something like that. I want you guys to understand that SWAT Fuel is not just like for professional athletes. If you are a living human being and you're active, it's something that you can use. Jared, Dan and I were talking last night on the phone, and I was telling him about SWAT brain. I said, have any of your other people used that term SWAT brain or SWAT braining or what have you? And he said, well, you know why that is? He said that they put a special component in a serotonin, not melatonin, serotonin in there to keep your mind from becoming overstimulated. So rather than becoming overstimulated like a spastic squirrel, like the whole, like, I just pounded, 40 ounces of Mountain Dew. You're like, oh, I have lots of energy. No, you're just a spastic squirrel. A lot of science and nutritional analysis went into SWAT Fuel.
That insulin's about to come take all that sugar out of your body and make you feel like you're super tired.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what SWAT Fuel doesn't do. But he said that the reason they formulated it like that was so that your mind would not get overstimulated. Because if your brain gets overstimulated, you get like that spastic squirrel thing going, then you can't focus. So it does you no good, as far as like thinking tasks. SWAT Fuel allows you to think and think clearly. Am I lying or am I dying over there, kid?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is it? You butthead?
Neither. You're not dying and you're not lying, so what are you?
Does it allow you to think clearly?
Yes, it does.
Give us an example. Rather than
editing
being a
the TV show, you guys have seen my productions, so SWAT Fuel helps me with that.
It gives you clarity of focus, and that's something that people often disregard. Now, something that I feel stupid for not having suggested previously is putting SWAT Fuel single packets or just grabbing a bottle of it and putting it in your emergency kit. Your emergency, if you have a bug out bag, whatever it is that you call that bag that you have your emergency stuff in, I don't care what you call it, adding some SWAT Fuel to that. And we get really hardcore focused when it comes to bug out bags and, end of the world scenarios and hurricanes and what have you. We get really super focused on guns and gear and multi-tools and ammo and what have you. It's like, okay, I got that. So you need a gun. Check. You need food and water, check. You need medical supplies, check. But all of the things that we're talking about, whether it's food, water, water is a component that goes in your body. But gun people love to focus on their toys. They have a Kryptek backpack, and by the way, Jared, I got the story on that. They got a Kryptek backpack, and they've got their Kimber with HydroShocks in it, and they've got a poncho and a poncho liner, and they got all this cool stuff. But what is that? It's stuff. Now, what is the stuff for? Is the gun in and of itself, can you set the gun on the table and it's going to solve your problems for you? You're like, well, no, obviously not. You're going to set the pack on the ground and say, pack, solve my problems, save my life. What is the primary component in your own survival and the survival of your family and your community?
I would say a mind.
You. Your brain and your body and your ability to use that gear. The gear doesn't solve the problem. It's you that is going to solve the problem. A healthy body and a healthy mind. That's what you need. If it wasn't the case, rather than making Marines run endless miles and PT and push up things and pull down things and do all that, rather than do that, they would just hand them $10,000 worth of guns and ammo and say, here you go. We just have a bunch of fat slugs in robot suits. No, you need the human component. And I kind of felt like a dunce not having suggested that you take, at very least, I would get some of the single packs, but if you can't find those or they're not available where you are, then get a single bottle of 9mm plus P and put it in your bug out bag. And you're like, well, why would I want to do that? Well, what is the bug out bag for? If you actually get to the point where you have to grab that pack, put it on your shoulders, and move, are you having a good day or are things getting dicey? Things are about to get exciting, right?
Yes. Or they already did.
Or they already are exciting. But the fact of the matter is you're going to be demanding more from your body than ever before. And you might have to push through. You might have to stay awake longer. You might have to walk farther. You might have to lift more, whatever. I'll give you a great example. Katrina happens, or a hurricane or whatever, Gustav, Isaac, and you need to get out there and clean up all the downed limbs and debris and crap that's all over the place. Because believe it or not, that stuff's not going to clean up itself. You think it might be a good time to pop a couple of SWAT fuel tablets, grab a bottle of water, and get to work? Maybe. So if you guys are out there, if you folks are out there and you have the emergency kit, the go kit, the whatever, man, I would really strongly suggest that you put the SWAT fuel 9mm plus P in there. And like I said, I feel like a dunce for not having brought it up before. Did you already think about that and you just never say anything to me?
No.
Because I keep it in the truck. I mean, I've got some in the truck. I've got the single packs in the truck, and when I travel, I stick it in my travel bag, obviously. But it never occurred to me. And Dan said, he said, think about versus 5-hour energy, which seems to be the people have been programmed to believe that that's what they need. He said, how many 5-hour energies would you need to pack out in a pack, and how much would that weigh?
Yeah.
A lot.
That's a good point.
Like 30 5-hour energies in your bug out bag, or 30 little blue caplets from SWAT fuel.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that was just mind blown right there, wasn't it, Jared?
It was mind blown.
Mind blown.
I want to start doing something.
Why are we congratulating that person?
Because I'm getting there. I'm about to explain that right now.
Okay, I'm going to drink my coffee. You explain.
Okay, I want to start something new on Wednesdays on SWAT Fuel Fitness Day. I want to one person per week until I run out of people. I want to congratulate them on their weight loss journey, because there are a lot of people that are out there that are like, well, my weight loss journey is not really going the way. I'm never going to lose that weight. I'm never going to be able to do that. But this person that I'm going to thank today, or not thank, but I'm going to congratulate today, her name is Rachel Peters, and she's part of the Combat Culinary Group that I follow pretty heavily. There's a lot of cool people in there, but she started at 355 pounds, and she is 130 pounds now.
Woo!
That's a huge change. She posted pictures.
That's like 2 people.
Yeah, really. she posted pictures up in the group, and she's like, even my jaw fell open when I saw the old pictures. But she looks great now, and so it can be done. It just takes hard work and dedication. So if you are on that path, then stay on that path, keep doing it. And I need you guys to nominate somebody. If you guys, I'm going to run out of people eventually unless I get your help. So grad program members especially, there's a couple of you in there that actually have stories yourself. So I want you to nominate other people if you know them. Post it on the Student of the Gun Facebook, or you can't really tag them in the grad program group.
No,
but
that's cool.
Bring them to my attention.
Bingo. Yeah, because a gun is just a tool. It's you, your body, and your brain that we need. We need you to have a healthy mind and a healthy body. And a healthy body supports a healthy mind. And that's what we're all about here at Student of the Gun. All right, before we move into our slave state news, let's thank Frog Lube for making green stuff that lubes up your guns and smells minty fresh, and it just works. FrogLube.com. Century Arms, sponsor of the mobile app. If you don't have the mobile app, I don't really know what your excuse is. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you your time to download the mobile app, and you can stream the radio. You can read the articles. You can look at pictures. You can leave comments. You can You can call us directly.
You can now access the grad program.
You can now access the grad program on the radio tab. Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So first of all, if you're a grad program member, I'm sure that you already have it, but there you go. Crossbreed Holsters. Congratulations to Crossbreed Holsters on 10 full years of being in business. 10 years of making the most comfortable inside the waistband holster that you will ever wear. And congratulations to those guys. We really appreciate it. We appreciate their support and the fact that I've got a Crossbreed holster on right now, and I can hardly tell. I have to frisk myself, bump myself. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay. You want to talk about being a slave?
I like to teach you all the rules. I get to see them set in stone. I like it when you chain me to the bed, but then you see it's never shown.
Thank you, Puddle of Mud, for the Slave State News Update. Because it's all about control. And are you being controlled? Are you allowing yourself to be controlled? Are you thinking like a slave? And your knee-jerk reaction to that is probably like, I am not a slave. I'm a free man. I own guns. Just because you own a gun does not mean you are not a slave. Yes, it does. Really? There's lots of guys that own guns that got in line in Connecticut. Do I need to remind you about that? Owning a piece of hardware, purchasing an item, does not guarantee your liberty or freedom. All that does is it makes you a gun owner. Congratulations. You were able to scrape together enough money to go to a store and buy an object. The object is simply an object. It's a tool. Now, in the right hands, it can be an instrument of liberty. And I understand that, and we promote that here. But you may be thinking like a slave and not even realize it. It's easy to do, and that's why I'm here, is to point out nonsense like this. It happened again, and it kind of hacks me off because I would think, I'm going to tell you what hacks me off, Jared. You want to know what hacks me off? I'm going to tell you. He's over there. He's like, do I want to jump in on this or not?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Okay. When people, if you follow Student of the Gun, whether you watch the television show, listen to the radio, you read the articles, or you follow us on social media, whatever, I expect that if you're part of the group, if you're part of the Student of the Gun group, that you volunteered and you jumped in, that you should be paying attention, you should be listening louder, you should be on track, you should be with the program. I understand that there are a lot of people that inhabit planet Earth that are not with the program. I get that. That's not a problem. But what I don't get and what I can't tolerate is people who show up to a Student of the Gun function. You're like a function? Yeah, like a function. Like, for instance, a conversation on Student of the Gun, Facebook, Gun District, Instagram, comments on an article or what have you. They show up and they don't get it. Or they start spouting slave language. And a great example is the that new stock from Safety Harbor
Oh, yeah,
Firearms,
yeah.
the KES. Now, when I saw that, the first one I saw, or that I was introduced to, was an SBR. Walt opened up his safe and he pulled out an SBR, a short-barreled rifle, a legitimate. I think that it had like a 7.5-inch barrel, and it had the compact stock on it. And then he showed me another one in flat dark earth that was very similar, but it was obviously a short-barreled rifle. Now, because as a collective, as an American collective, as citizens, we don't yet have the guts to stand up to the federal government and demand that our representatives remove the onerous horse crap that was foisted upon us by the National Firearms Act, because not everybody in the choir is getting it. Not everybody in the gun culture is getting it. Some of you still think that that's reasonable, and you're playing the why would you need that game. So, anyway, Walter showed me, he showed me the compact entry stock on 2 different SBRs. And I asked him, I said, if you install this on a standard AR, does it make it short or too short that make it falls into the SBR category? And he said, no, actually it doesn't. He said, if you put it on a standard 16-inch, non-registered carbine kind of a gun, a black rifle with a 16-inch barrel, he said you put it on there and it's plenty long enough that you don't need a special tax stamp or permission slip from the government. And he said, matter of fact, I have one in the safe. And that's when he reached in the safe and he pulled out a DPMS rifle with a 16-inch barrel with a KES stock on it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then rock on. Because there are a lot of companies out there that make components, and they'll tell you, you can buy this component, but the moment that you assemble it and you put it together with a gun, the moment you take a firearms receiver and stick it in this component, you just built a short-barreled rifle, a short-barreled shotgun, and any other weapon, an AOW. And I know that it's nonsense. I do. I know that it's bullcrap, and that a rifle with a 15-inch barrel is not more dangerous than one with a 16-inch barrel. I get that. But we don't have the guts or the courage as an American nation yet to tell the government that we don't work for them, that they work for us, and that we're not peasants and that we're not slaves. But part of the reason that is, and part of the reason we don't have the guts and we don't have the courage, is because we've been convinced for generation after generation, decade after decade, you and I, and not so much I anymore because I've woken up, but we've been convinced by the big media, and we're also convinced by television, and we're convinced by the movies, because every time you watch a movie and a detective's talking about a gun, they ask if it's registered. Is that gun registered? Is that a registered firearm? I have a permit for that. Every time they walk into someone's house in a movie and they find a gun, and what's the first thing out of the homeowner's mouth? I have a permit for that. Why do you think most of your friends that don't own guns, why do you think they believe that you have to have a permit to buy a gun? Why do you think your ignorant non-gun friends think that you have to register your guns with the government? Why do you think that they believe that? They believe that because they've been propagandized their whole entire life to believe that they have to seek special permission, not for machine guns and suppressors and short-barrel rifles, short-barrel shotguns. Not for that. No. They think that in order to exercise your constitutional rights, that you first have to go and get a permit, and then you have to register your guns. Now, I know in some states, some current slave states, that is the MOI, the modus operandi, or the MO. But folks, when you encounter, and we talked about this before with the arm braces, the SIG brace and the Century AK arm brace. What do they call it? The SB47 and the SB15. Yeah, the SIG brace number 15 and the. It's funny, Jared. It's called the SB47, is it not? In the catalogs, I'm pretty sure it's called the SB47.
Yeah, I think so.
Which an SB 15 stands for SIG brace 15 for AR-15s. But I'm pretty sure Century Arms doesn't call theirs the SIG brace.
Stabilizing brace.
Stabilizing. Thank you. Stabilizing brace. I
don't know if that's right, but
no, you're right. It's a stabilizing brace, but SIG, and that's another thing that where people don't understand the money that they're going to make. SIG was to congratulate SIG. They're the only company out of all the black rifle companies to embrace that idea. A lot of other that product was offered to other gun companies, and other black rifle companies said, no, we're not interested. We don't want that. That's crazy. That's stupid. We're not interested in it. We'll get in trouble. And SIG, to their great credit, said, yeah, we'll take it. Let's do that. And they've sold 1 billion of them. Okay, maybe not 1 billion, but they've sold a lot. And then Century Arms said, well, we'll take the one for the AK, for AK pistols. Rock on. When that came out, the first thing out of the reasonable gun owner's mouth is that legal? Are you allowed? Are you allowed to have that? Are you allowed to put that on a gun? First reaction is, am I allowed? So I introduced my audience, who may not have been aware of it, to the compact entry stock, or the KES, from Safety Harbor Firearms. And some of the first comments are you allowed to do that? Am I allowed? Why is your knee-jerk reaction to ask if you're allowed? If you're an adult human being, you have a job, you pay taxes, you have a family, you're doing your job here. You are the productive member of a society. The only people that should be asking, am I allowed, are people that take and don't produce. Society's leeches, and we know that there are millions in the United States of America, millions of leeches just leeching out of the community, out of the country.
Going to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Oh, you said leeches. Oh, it just reminded me of that song.
There you go.
I'm hungry.
Are you hungry?
Food.
So that thought, the why am I allowed? Are you allowed? Can you have that? Are you allowed to have that? Oh. And it comes from, well, first of all, people who live in slave states assume that every other state is like theirs. Slaves in Massachusetts, slaves in New Jersey, slaves in New York, slaves in California. People that were born and raised in these slave states, they assume that the rest of the country is like their little Marxist regime, and that everyone has to get special permission. It's sick, it's insidious, it's twisted. You were not born to be a slave. If you were born in the United States of America, if you were born on planet Earth, you were not born to be a slave. But chances are you are a slave, especially if you don't live in the United States. If you don't live in the United States, you don't have a choice. But here in the United States, you have a choice. And the question that I was pondering in my own brain housing group as I was driving yesterday, and I was sending Jared voice texts. He can always tell when I send him voice text memos because the voice text doesn't quite translate gun lingo into the real world, does it, Jared?
Not really.
Not really. Why are so many humans, so many adult humans, voluntary slaves? The big cities, the major metropolitan areas in the United States of America are filled, packed to the walls with slaves, voluntary slaves, people who have put themselves into servitude, who have volunteered to be enslaved. Baltimore, New York, pretty much the entire state of New Jersey, Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, you name it, packed full, wall to wall with voluntary slaves. Slaves to the government. The government owns them. Why is that? Why do they sacrifice their liberty for the promise of free stuff? Well, yeah, I know somebody talked to me once about like liberty and freedom and the Constitution and stuff, but if you're going to give me a check, You're going to give me a card that I can take into the store and get free food. You're going to give me a mobile phone, an Obama phone. Yeah, I went there. You're going to pay for my housing, pay for my rent. You're going to pay for my electricity, my utilities, pay for my college. What the hell is that? Dude, does that not, like, you find that to be the strange... Sending welfare slaves to college? What's the point in that? Why would you... Don't you go to college so that you can get an education to contribute to society? Well, if it's free, what do you learn from getting free stuff? You learn that you're an entitled, baby. You're a tax slave. And you're like, Paul, this is Student of the Gun Radio. Why are you talking about tax slaves? Because it all meshes together. Why are so many humans voluntary slaves? And you say, because it's a free stuff. It's a free stuff, Paul. They get free stuff, and that's why. Well, kind of. I really believe that there is another reason, and it's probably not a reason that you've ever considered. Maybe you have. You're a smart audience. It's the fact that slaves have no responsibilities. Think about it. If you've allowed yourself to embrace the victim status, the status of a victim, I am a victim. I'm a victim of racism. I'm a victim of the man. I'm a victim of years of oppression. I've been oppressed. My great-great-great-great-grandpappy was oppressed. I'm a victim. So what you've just said is that nothing that you do, no actions that you take, are really your responsibility. You're not responsible for making sure that you have housing. You are not responsible for making sure that your family has food to eat. You're not responsible for caring for your community. Being a slave is really a voluntary tax slave, a voluntary welfare slave, a slave to the system. That is actually one of the most selfish things that you can do. You say, well, how can you say that? You're off your rocker. No, think about it for a minute. When you embrace victimization, when you allow yourself to become a tax slave, then you're all done providing. You're all done producing. You're all done contributing. Tax slaves, and there are millions in this nation, and they're encouraged. We pimp, your government pimps welfare. They put up billboards and they buy radio ads and television ads to encourage you. I'll never forget this. There was a radio ad paid for by the Ad Council. Do I need to tell you where the Ad Council gets their money from? Yeah, your pocket and my pocket. That says, you may be disabled and not know it. Go to .gov to find out if you're disabled. What? You may be disabled and not know it? So go to blah-blah-blah.gov to take the survey and find out if you're disabled and you're owed a government check.
Or you could take that check and shove it.
And that right there, the voluntary slavery, they put up billboards. The Ad Council purchases billboards in the summertime to remind you that you're supposed to take your kids to public school to eat in the summer. Summer's no fun when you're hungry. What? Summer's no fun when you're hungry? When did it become my responsibility to feed your kids? You're not feeding my kids, Paul. Bull crap!
But you don't care about the children. Where do you think the money
comes from? No, you know what is selfish? Farming your kids off to the school system so you don't have to feed them or take care of them. Mm-hmm. This slavery, it comes down to a complete and total Selfishness. Watch the news. Look at the animals and monsters running around in your country, burning down their neighborhoods, destroying, stealing. That have we are ruled by rats. We have huge nests of rats. New York City, Chicago, Detroit, and whoever votes for, Chicago, this whole state goes however Chicago wants to go. New York City, the whole state of New York is poisoned by New York City. Michigan, poisoned by Detroit. Do I need to go on? Filled with super selfish, extremely selfish tax slaves. As long as they don't have to be responsible for anything. That is the problem we have. And you need to ask yourself, student of the gun audience, do you wish to participate in get on the slavery train? Well, of course not, Paul. I have a job, I work, blah, 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 blah. Then stop using slave vernacular. Stop asking for permission. Stop assuming that you're always in the wrong. Stop assuming that you first, before you live your life, need to get permission from the commissar. You were not born to be a slave in America. And you may be a slave, but you can change that. Oh, no, I can't. I don't. It's too hard. Yeah, you're right. It's too hard. I can't. If you're an American and you're disarmed right now, you did it by choice. You voluntarily disarmed yourself. There are other countries in the world where the people have been disarmed by force. They've been disarmed by edict. They've been disarmed because they're lazy. They're fat and lazy and socialist. And their brains are mush. But in the United States of America today in 2015, this country, the people of this nation, never in the history of this nation have the people been more well equipped to resist tyranny, yet so distracted and self-involved that they can't even muster the courage to do it. You know what we don't need in the United States of America? I'm going to say something crazy. It's going to blow your mind. We don't need more guns. You always need more guns, Paul. No, we don't need more guns to solve our problems. In the United States of America 2015, we don't need more guns to fix the problem.
CNN's going to pull that audio and they're going to use it because you're in the gun industry and you just said that we don't need more guns.
I wish that somebody would pull that and use it as a soundbite. Here's what we need to fix the problem. We need mental courage. We need fortitude. We need people that are not voluntary slaves. We need people that are thinking like free men and free women. What do we talk about on Monday? What is liberty? What is liberty, folks? I'm going to keep saying this until you have it memorized and you can say it in your sleep. Liberty is the right to choose. Freedom is a result of the right choice. We've been saying that forever. People always carping about freedom, freedom. I got the freedom. I'm free to do this. Free, free, free. Blah. Freedom means nothing without liberty. People in England tell themselves that they're free. They're not, but they tell themselves that. People in countries across the world tell themselves that they have freedom. The government allows us to vote. Oh, congratulations. Does the government allow you to vote? As long as you vote the right way, you're okay. Hell, they had elections in Iraq when Saddam Hussein was in, and he always got like 98% of the vote when he ran unopposed, which I could never figure out. Like, did people write in "other" on their ballot or something? People were writing none of the above on their ballots. Saying that you have freedom is empty and meaningless if you don't understand and embrace the idea of liberty. Liberty is like light. It's energy. It requires energy. The default of liberty is slavery. And all you have to do is just blow out the light, blow out the candle, and you have the default. The default of light is darkness. And the default of liberty is slavery. And far too many out there listening to my voice have fallen into the reasonable voluntary slave camp, asking permission. Am I allowed? If that is your first reaction to whatever situation you encounter, you're either a criminal or you're a slave. Stop thinking like a slave. You weren't born to be a slave. You were born to exercise liberty, to make the right choices, and as a result of those choices, then you get to embrace freedom. All right. Before I wrap up today, and I've gotten all the way down to the bottom of my notes here. And actually, there's one more story that we're not going to get to today because I don't want to spend the time to get into it. I don't want to short shrift the last story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in tomorrow's. We're going to talk about there's a new article on EMS1.com, which is obviously an emergency medical services website, and it says police need IFAKs and training. Police need to train and use and carry an IFAK. That's crazy talk. That seems like
I've heard that
if
somewhere
you got
before.
in a time machine and went back to 2010, a guy that looked a lot like me. Do I hate or love being cutting edge? I don't know. Thank you to Brownells, brownells.com. Thank you to Duracode. Thank you to Velocity Triggers. Thank you to all of our friends in the industry for doing what it is that they do. And ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I'm going to leave you right now, but I will be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Pope and whether or not he is a full-fledged and naked socialist. And why doesn't the Pope like you having guns? I don't understand. Remember, you are a beginner once, a student for life.